Alright, so welcome! We are in the next closer look. This one is going to be about Invoker, the hero that is already released for like 1 year, I think. And why I'm doing this with the older heroes, because Valve is not really releasing new heroes week by week. So there are weeks when there's no content in a sense of closer look for me. So I'm going to focus on the heroes in these weeks that are not yet released. Sorry, that I released, that I already played many times, and I think I kind of know how to play them. I already have my style, my gameplay style with the heroes, like a skill build, item build, and you know what I'm doing in the game. Of course, Invoker is a very complex hero, so this is gonna be kind of a longer video, I think. It has to be, unfortunately. I'm gonna be focusing also on later on the spells and how I'm basically managing the spells, how I'm switching them, and you will see even like a little bit of keyboard action. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. So let's start very quickly. Invoker, he has 3 orbs that are not really actively doing anything. They are not spells you can cast. They are orbs that you are switching by clicking. So one click is one switch. You have Q, W, E, which is Quas, Vex, and Exort. That's very nice. And you can do any combination of these spells. So it can be full Quas, full Exort, or combinations, any combination. Each combination gives you different spell that I'm going to be explaining these spells later on, what they do. Okay. Then you have ulti. On level 7, on level 2, you get the first ulti point. Usually, my build is a Quas Vex. So I have a Quas. If I cast 3 Quas, I invoke it, there's a spell appearing right here. Okay, that's the first one. You will get only one until level 7. On level 7, you get 2 spells, so you can cast the next spell, which was for me Tornado, okay? Right now, when you have already 2 spells existing, okay, what you are doing, if you're invoking, is you are erasing this spell, the second one, the second position, and this spell, the first position, is moving to the second position, okay? And the new spell that you invoke is moving to the first position. So the new spell is always going to be in the first position. For me, it's a D. So if I'm going to cast new spell, this is going to disappear, and the new spell is going to appear right here. And the tornado moved to the second position. So again, if I'm going to go back to the cold snap, this is going to disappear, this is going to move, cold snap is going to appear right here. So that's the switch. New spell always right here. Of course, in the beginning you have to be careful, because you want to cast a spell, this one, the second position, before switching, so you don't lose it, of course, because you have limited amount of spells at the beginning, because Invoker works like that, unfortunately. He has very high cooldown for this type of heroes, in the beginning. It's 17 seconds on level 7, level 2 of the ulti, of course. So you will be casting 2 spells plus 1 switch in like actions in the beginning. So you have to be careful about that. So what these things give you: Quas gives you Strange Gain, so you will get HPs, and bonus regen. So great for mid, great for regen. You can stand against people with the nukes. It works pretty well. Then you have Vex, which gives you the best ability in the game, which is movement speed. So this is something I'm gonna be leveling up in the future by very much. So Quas is gonna stay like 2-4. Vex is gonna be leveled up as much as I can, because movement speed definitely makes this game much more easier for you. And Invoker is hero of positioning. If you can position yourself quicker, or you can get away from something, it's definitely good for you. So movement speed works great, and of course also there's an attack speed gain and agility gain on the bottom there. So Exort, we have last one actually, orb. Exort is gonna give you bonus intelligence, and it's gonna give you damage per instance. So we have 112, and we have 112 plus 63. So that's what Exort does to you. And these are the orbs. I should actually say the bonus range for Quas is a passive, so it's not active. You don't need these orbs. You just click the button for the Quas, and you will gain the Strange Gain. Alright, so those were the basics of the Invoker, those the skills, the orbs, and before I'll get to the meat of the game, which are the actual spells, the switches, the invoking, the keyboard work, I'm gonna be focusing just quickly on the items. If you want to know it much more in depth, just watch my games, any of my Invoker game, maybe kind of recent ones to kind of get the idea what I'm doing. So, first of all, Quas, you want to get as much as you need. So if there's like a heavy nuker, you don't want to get only 1-2 points, you want to maybe get 3-4 points, so you can be kind of a stable on the lane and kind of out, play her, because you get the initial regen. But if you don't need that, you can keep it on 1 or 2, probably 2, and then focus on the Vex, like 5-6 points immediately to the Vex, so you can start like ganging with the movement speed and with the good spells like Tornado or EMP. Then I get 1 Exort, so it's like 2, let's say, if there's like a there's like a melee hero, let's say, so 2, 5, 6, 1, and then finishing the Vex, quas no more than 4, no more than 4, that's enough, and finish the Exort. That is actually your orbs. That I'm kind of a, you know, that's kind of the idea with this build. And items, definitely phase boot. You need that. It works great with your Vex movement speed. You can get Bracer, you can get Magic Wand. That works kind of great because you need that additional and initial mana for the next spell sometimes, which this is gonna give you. And next item I'd like to get, okay, sometimes I skip the drums, I just keep the Bracer, and I go for Use Scepter. Because Invoker is about control, is about positioning, and Use Scepter is gonna give you that. So you have additional disable, or just you can lift yourself and then go to Invis or whatever you want to do. So Use Scepter is definitely something I like, plus the mana regen. You won't be really, you know, losing that much mana while casting your spells in the beginning. And next item is definitely for me, Aghanim Specceptor. I just need to do this every single time from now on, because it's just so much fun to have reduced cooldown. Then it starts kind of the skill play, which I definitely like. So Aghanim is the next choice. You can get BKB or anything. Watch my games to kind of get the whole idea how I'm building the Invoker. Okay, so after the brief introduction of the Invoker, his orbs, item choices, how he's proceeding through the game, or what's the best for him to get, I'm gonna be right now working with fully loaded Invoker, level 25. Each orb is at the maximum, Invoke is level 4 plus the Aghanim, so meaning the cooldown is reduced to 2 seconds to switch a spell. So I can switch a spell in 2 seconds, and I'm not going to be using what the fuck mode because I don't think you should be training in what the fuck mode. I think you should be training in normal mode to kind of get the feel of the cooldowns of how you should rotate your spells. So let's start with the spells that are, as you would be proceeding through the game, I'm going to try that. So first one is definitely Cold Snap. It's a way to mini-stun your opponent. As you can see, the range is pretty insane, so it can be used also to cold somebody when he's running away. So you do Cold Snap, and attacking triggers the mini-stun, of course. There's duration, you know, 6 seconds, of course, the freeze cooldown, which is like the mini-stun. As you can see, it's pretty in the range of mini-stun. It's not really stun, it's just mini-stun. It's gonna be cancelling any channeling, everything like that, it's gonna be cancelling. And the great thing is that everything that is hitting him, okay, so I'm gonna just quickly do through Forge Spirits. Everything that is hitting him will be triggering the Cold Snap, as you can see. So can be your opponent, can be even creeps in the lane. So if somebody gets close to the creeps on the lane, in the beginning of course, like level 2, you hit the Cold Snap on him, and bam bam bam, he's just being mini-stun. You can just do like, you know, 50% at least of HP's down of his. So that's the beginning, that is Cold Snap. Spell that you're gonna be using from the beginning till the end. Definitely great spell. Doesn't really loses any power because it's the mini-stun power. He's not gonna be able to cast a spell, or some heroes are impossible with Invoker's attack speed, which is, you know, based on the Vex, as I explained. They're not gonna be able to cast anything. So this is the first one, the Cold Snap. Next spell, kind of in a line when you are proceeding with kind of my style, with my build, is a Tornado, which is a pretty simple spell. It lifts the guy, plus it travels pretty insanely on level 25 Invoker. And this is great as an initiation factor. You can have few things to work with it. We can have EMP, which just explodes and takes mana. It's been nerfed, this combination, as the whole Vex Invoker was kind of nerfed, even the damage, as I told you in the beginning. So this is the combo. He needs to be on the ground. Right now it just didn't work. He needs to be on the ground to receive the EMP, so you have to be kind of careful when you are casting the EMP, because he needs to land first, and then at least, as you can see, it's gonna work. It's been nerfed. Previously it was able to just lift them and do the EMP, and, you know, nothing changed. So that's that. That's the first combo you will get as a Vex Quas Invoker. You should be using the EMP from like level 4, because if not, then it's taking too much time. As you can see, there's a charge time, and then it's released. Right now it's not doing anything. After that, those 2 seconds right now, it's gonna release. But if you have it on level 3, it's 3.15 seconds, which is a lot to, you know, run away from it. That's why also the initiation right here. Also, there's additional thing, which is Meteor, so you can use it even with the Meteor pretty nicely. The impact damage, you know where they are gonna land. The impact damage just a lot, and so it's good preparation for combo. Plus, if they are pushing, you can just repel them. The Tornado works very well. It's kind of your main spell as a Vex Quas Invoker in the beginning. As I told you, the EMP works great with the Tornado. So next spell you are kind of already getting into the idea of getting Exort at this point, okay? So with one Exort you can get Alacrity, which gives Invoker what he wants. He wants attack speed, then you have Vex here, okay? Then you have attack speed 0.55. Right now, more damage, you're gonna get more damage with the Exort, so depends what you want, of course. It works also on your ally, so you can just buff the carry. I don't mean this spell does this. This is you switch the orbs, but you know, it kind of multiplies your effect of the orbs almost, because it gives you the bonus attack speed and bonus damage. And duration, of course, is 9 seconds, so that's a pretty nice spell. Works kind of still great with the Cold Snap, because you have more attack speed, so it's gonna be mini-stunning him pretty much all the time. He's gonna fucking die right now. couldn't write the refresh. See, Invoker too strong. We finished with the Alacrity before I killed my guy, so I have a new one. It's a Lion this time with the actual heart for the purpose of him not dying that quickly. So let's start again into the Exort. We are going. So the next combo is Meteor, which is Vex, Exort, Exort. And this is a great spell with combination of one thing, which you can be using immediately when you get level 1 Exort, which is Defending Blast, okay? Which pushes back the guy. So if the whole team is running on you, you can just push them back, and it works brilliantly. Plus, in this state, he cannot attack anything. He's disarmed, okay? You can break it with BKB, of course, but you can break actually anything. That's only counter to the Invoker, which I'm gonna get later to it. So, again, you have pretty decent combo with this and the Meteor. Then you can follow it up with Cold Snap or anything that you want. Of course, the Cold Snap is gonna be triggered by the fire, so it works pretty brilliantly of somebody just running with the fire also. So that is the combo, Defending Blast and a Meteor. As you can see, there's decent damage, the knockback duration, disarm duration, everything is pretty nice on the spell. Of course, the full Invoker just exploits the potential of all these spells, as you know. So we have that. Our next spell is let's go with the Ice Wall. You can use it also when you get the first level of Exort, which you put Ice Wall on the ground. The Ice Wall is put on the ground where you are facing in this direction, so it's always gonna be in the direction like this, okay, where he's facing. So you kind of, if you have some dagger positioning, you can do just this, so they cannot run away. Then you can switch to Cold Snap or whatever. Sorry about that. Or whatever, and kind of even more stop them, and it works. Invoker just amazing hero. He has everything. He does have everything. Our next thing is kind of an interesting thing because it's a Forged Spirits. So we have these guys. They are very strong in the beginning, as you can see. This is a guy with the BKB, and they're lowering his armor with each hit, as you can see, -6, -7, -8. It just goes on and on and on. Of course, with them right now he has -2 armor, and this is doing damage. The pure damage, so even me hitting him, it's gonna do so much more damage. So Forged Spirits will be hitting the target before they die, because they have pretty decent HPs, as you can see. Plus you can boost them with Alacrity also, so there's gonna be even more insane. You don't even need to be there for them to be effective, okay? A few spells to support that from the distance. They are very, very strong. For 2 Forged Spirits, okay, to create 2 Forged Spirits, you need 4 Quas and 4 Exors. So some builds are just relying on this strategy to get 4 and 4 as soon as you can, so like 4, 4, 1, and then you have 4 spirits, and they are very strong in the beginning because they are something additional that is doing the damage. So those are 4 spirits. What do we have left? I forget something. Actually, Sunstrike. I forgot that because usually as a Quasvex Invoker, you are not gonna get to the point that the Sunstrike is that good, because it needs this. It needs the Exort, but Sunstrike is definitely something that works brilliantly. It's hard to hit. It is. If the target is standing, of course you're gonna hit that. But usually people are running, so you need to kind of predict the distance that he's moving, the movement speed, if he has blink even. So it's definitely hard. It's not a reliable spell. It's not like I can cast the Tornado and know that he's gonna be in the air. Then I can cast EMP. If I'm casting this and he runs away, it's not reliable. It takes time. It's not visible for them. It's only visible for your team. The sound only for your team. So you don't have to be afraid about that. Plus, it's been buffed as the whole kind of Exort Voker, because they kind of want him to be played much more than a Vex or Ice Rock, the team. So this does pure damage. So for example, if you watch my Nyx Assassin game, the recent one, this worked brilliantly against anti-mage, because I wouldn't be able as a Nyx Assassin to kill him with the Dagon alone. With the Sunstrike we always got the combo off, and it did the pure damage, so it went through his magic shield and did the 475. It goes through the pipe too, so pipe, nothing basically blocks it other than the BKB, of course, because it's still magic damage, or magic source damage. So if he pops BKB, nothing actually affects it. So those are kind of spells, those are kind of combination of spells. Of course, you need to monitor the situation, you need to be, you know, focus on everything that is happening, where to cast these spells, where is the team, what's the best, you know, what's the best spell for the situation, and everything like that. So, one thing that I already kind of showed you a little bit is what counters Invoker. Okay, let's try. Okay, let's go for BKB. So, I'm gonna be casting my spells here. And, well, there's an, let's say, Cold Snap. Nope, doesn't work too. So, BKB is something that you need to have against good Invoker, or you are not going to be able to play. Plus, I'm actually building as Invoker, or as I showed you the Dual Scepter, so I can even lift you after this harassment, pure annoyance. You know, pure annoyance. I can even lift you to the ground after this with my Dual Scepter. So, BKB counters almost every single spell. Only spell that you can actually use against BKB is this one. He's gonna be... Ooh. Is it actually normal? I thought this actually slows magic immune units. I think it should. Let me check very quickly. Let's see if he's gonna... Okay, if he's in it, then you can actually slow him. And if he's get away, it's not affecting him. Okay, that's fine. So, as you can see, plus, you know, of course, these guys are still hitting people with BKB, and are still... I can actually refresh it, okay. Sorry about that. So they can still hit the guys in the BKB, of course, but that's kind of not a spell for, you know, for the hit. So, BKB is definitely counter to Invoker. Depends how quickly you get with one. But as a carry, you need one. You definitely need one. So, this is the explanation of spells, and there's one thing more coming out. Okay, that was a good cut. So this is my keyboard, okay? So I'll be explaining what I'm doing with my fingers when I'm casting spells. So you have your Quas, which is Q, the Vex is W, E is Exort, of course, and you have Invoke, which is R. I'm just gonna... Okay, here we go. So I'm operating with this finger, of course. It's pretty normal. You go, you know, Quas, this one is Vex. The point finger does the most work with Invoker because it does the switch, the Invoke. Plus it needs to cast a spell, which in my case is D and F. Those are the two spells, going from left. So D is the first one, F is the second one. So this was a one spell, okay? This is gonna be like second one. You always gotta be casting the, as I explained, the first one. Okay. So the thing is, you kind of need some system. You kind of need some system to it. So my thing is, mostly I'm running with the Vex. Mostly the Vex is on so I can be, you know, fast enough. Now, if I want to cast Tornado, I do only one thing. I do Q and Invoke. And immediately I spam the Vex so I can get back to my movement speed. That's the thing you're gonna be doing a lot of times. If you switch a spell, for example, it's Exort, Quas, which is the Force Spirits, Invoke, you want to spam the Vex to get the Vex back, okay? To get the free Vex back so you can get the movement speed at the attack speed. So now, that's the system, okay? So, every single spell I'm ending with spamming the Vex at least 3 times so I can get it back to my movement speed. Now, the Cold Snap spells, okay, I'm usually working with the Vex still. So if I'm running always with the free Vex, so if I want to go Invis, I go 2 Quas, Invoke, and Vex, and go for the Invis. Okay, that was going into the Invis. I'm gonna actually do it one more time in the game with like a smaller window, but this was an Invis, for example. If I'm going Exort spells, okay, then I'm spamming Exort. For example, I want to go Ice Wall. So first Exort, then 2 Quas, and then Ice Wall. If I want to do Force Spirit, so it means 2 Exort, 1 Quas, and here we go, Force Spirits. And again, as you can see, back to the Vex. If I want to do Alacrity, I am on the Vex, so only 1 Exort, spam, and I have the spell. If I do the Fiending Blood, which is kind of specific because it's all for all 3 things, I'm starting with the Exort, and I just click like this. So from the exort, I'm like going almost like this. You can actually like click it like this, but I like this movement. And there we go. So I'm actually gonna do it one more time in the game. Alright, so here we go, just very quickly with the keyboard. So this is like a basic starting position for me every single time, because the Vex is the main thing, the movement speed, everything works brilliantly with the Zeta. Okay, movement speed is the strongest thing in the game almost. So I'm switching, this is starting position for the switch if I'm switching to the quas mostly. So if I'm on Tornado, I switch one quas. So this Tornado, and if I want to do Invis for example, there we go. Even with the full, as you can see, full Vexus, I switched back before casting Tornado, just spamming it. It takes less than a second and it works quite nicely. So that was the Invis, Cold Snap. Of course EMP works just off this, you just click it if you want. Tornado, there we go. Exort spells are kind of a much more harder, because that's not like your easy position coming from the Vex. So if I'm working Vex and Exort, depends on what it is. Of course, Alacrity is kind of same as the Cold Snap, so as a Tornado, so I just click one Exort on me, and there we go. With the D, always the D is the next spell, okay? If I want Tornado, of course I click 2 times, there we go. As you can see, I'm always running and switching back to the Vexes, because movement speed kills everything in this game. If I want a Sunstrike, I just spam it, back to the Vex immediately. Of course, there we go with the Exort and Quas, which could be kind of a much more harder, because it's the starting position is not my Vex. So with the Exort, what I'm doing, the Exort is kind of the starting position. So I first spam the Exort, or I spam how much I need of Exort and then the other things. So for example, I need the Ice Wall, so I just do 1 Exort, 2 Quas, switch. You need to train this, but I wouldn't recommend training it in what the fuck mode. I would recommend just playing with the bots with the Aghanim later on. Just, I think you proceeding through the game as Invoker is much more important than just spamming these spells randomly in what the fuck mode. That's not really the point. The point is to get your timing going on. So that was the Ice Wall. If I want Force Spirit, which is 2 Exorts and 1 Quas. So I just cast 2 Exorts, 1 Quas, and there we go. Back again immediately. I can do immediately the Alacrity and we go. So that was it. I think that's all the spells. Of course, one more thing, Defending Blast, as I showed you, it's got this movement. It's coming from E, W, R. You can even get this. Like, doesn't really matter. It just takes a kind of practice to just smash the keyboard at the same time. As you can see, it's almost gonna be there. So, but I'm gonna move with this movement, like from E, like this, and then of course, it's this. So that was it. That was the Invoker. Hope you like this one. I hope you do. I think it was kind of fun. Alright, so that's it. That's why I play Invoker. You definitely need to practice it. I would recommend not without the what the fuck mode. I think it helps you to kind of get the timing even, you know, mid game, late game, and overall Invoker play will be better if you just don't do the what the fuck mode, I think. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. I will be doing more of these, because I think I kinda enjoyed. If I'm enjoying some hero, I'm gonna bring you that hero in this type of video. So how I'm playing him, my style mostly. So thank you for watching. That is it. That is it.